All right, welcome to a new episode of CAS Minute, where today we are in part 5 of 5 on building an effective go-to-market strategy for CAS firms. We've already walked through how to identify the right audience, how to create a value proposition and messaging, deciding your pricing strategy, choosing a marketing distribution strategy, and today we're going to hit on how do you choose the right metrics to track. So, when we look at metrics as part of the go-to-market movements, we're really looking at what's greasing the wheels, what's creating a flywheel of growth and opportunity for the firm in order to understand how to best place our time and efforts to acquire customers that are aligned with what we want to do. So, oftentimes, SaaS companies look at things like customer acquisition costs and customer lifetime value. We should be looking at that as CAS firms as well. How much money are we spending to acquire those new clients? So, what's the total sales and marketing expense divided by the number of new clients acquired? That helps us measure the cost of each new client coming on board. And then when we pair that with lifetime value, it helps us understand how much total revenue can we expect from a single client relative to how much it took us to acquire that client. I think it's important to track those metrics because ultimately, if that conversion ratio is working really, really well, if you're acquiring clients for $1 and their lifetime value is 4, you want to be pumping money into whatever it is you're doing on the marketing front in order to acquire those customers. That's a great ratio to have. Another thing that you want to look at is what's your sales conversion rate? Are you converting 100% of the leads that come into your business? That would be a bad number to look at. It sounds great, but ultimately, if you're converting 100% of the clients that come across, that's telling me that your pricing is probably way too low. And so there are indicators that you can take out of these metrics to help you hone in on what the best strategy is, what the best pricing structure is, how to best deliver your services. So I generally like to see around a 33% sales conversion rate, maybe 25 to 33%, because ultimately that tells me that there's a healthy balance between us telling clients no that don't fit or are not aligned in our core industry, the core audience that we're serving. And it also tells me that our pricing is probably about right relative to the clients that maybe are a little bit priced out, or maybe we're not underpricing everything that would then boost that conversion rate. Another thing to look at that I don't think any CAS firms look at that I've seen, maybe a couple, but sales cycle length. How long does it actually take for you to convert a new opportunity into a client? That right there is something that most people don't look at, but is a critical metric to understand how and when to pour into sales and marketing efforts, and then understanding when does that actually convert to dollar, and then when does that convert to profitability after you take into account your total spend on acquiring that client. So when you look at all of these metrics, when you look at acquisition costs, lifetime value, conversion rates, sales cycle lengths, you should be tracking these things in order to feed back into your sales and marketing to help you make better decisions for the firm. Maybe it's helping your onboarding process, helping understand where you really should be priced at. All of these things can feed back into that. A few things that I didn't mention that are also helpful to track are things like what's your client retention rate, what's your average deal size, what are your marketing qualified leads to sales qualified leads, what's your net promoter score, how does this feed into your growth rates from a revenue perspective. Tracking all of these metrics will really help you feed back information to your sales muscle to just create a little bit better rhythm there for the growth of your firm. So hopefully you're taking of these 5 elements we talked about, taking all of these items and then turning it into data to help you build a more intelligent operation for your firm. Hope that's helpful, and we'll talk soon. Till next time.